What can I do for you?
What's up, Akoba? First in, baby. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. My right click isn't working. No joke, my right mouse click is not working. Hold on a second. This has actually happened before. I'm not sure if it's a driver issue or client issue. Not really sure. Okay, now my mouse just isn't working at all. I can't even exit the game. Clearly my mouse is working. Yeah, my mouse is obviously working because it's working completely fine once I'm outside the game. This happens sometimes. It happens very rarely, but like once every couple of weeks this will happen.
Thank you.
Doesn't even have a claw? That's kind of weird. Shouldn't a raptor always have a claw? It's just like... Raptor doesn't have a claw.
Lovely. Lovely.
Hmm. Apparently these Raptors out here don't have anything in the way of like abilities. Kind of disappointing. And does the game look this washed out? So, in this particular zone at this point in time of day, I guess it is this washed.
Great to meet you. See you soon.
Sorry, I had to do something.
Great to meet you. See you soon.
There's a lot of murlocs here.
Lovely. 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 Lovely.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Pleased to meet you. Alrighty then.
Well, I have a quest to kill these crocs, so I don't mind aggroing these. What's up, Luke?
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You were screwed.
Jesus, die already. Well, I mean, I've got the warrior. I'm a level 46 hardcore warrior, so melee hunter, the hardcore warrior, trying to get them to 60. And if those characters make to 60, then we'll work on maybe the paladin. But I mean, by the time these two characters get to 60, I'm thinking that maybe we'll get Throne of Liberty to come out. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I've got lots of characters here. I've got, like I said, I've got the paladin and the warrior too. So, or we can always go back to Turtle WoW and finish leveling out my hardcore hunter there. But she's not a melee hunter, so probably won't do that right away. But I actually, if I do get one of these guys to 60, I want to do some dungeons. But doing dungeons at 60 on a melee hunter would be super fun. Especially if, I'll respec it into like a survival build. We'll do like a kind of a support build. It'll be basically like a support melee hunter. Which would be interesting. DC support. Better. I knew something was missing. I don't know if they will. Blizzard doing Classic Plus. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. And honestly, even if Blizzard did do a Classic Plus, I mean, I don't think they will. Just simply because that's additional development. I mean, that's new development. Then putting out like, Wrath of the Lich King Classic it's mostly just. It's not like new development, really. They're just putting out shit they've done before, they've already created. They might tweak the settings and do a few things, but no major new development. I don't know. I would love to see them put out a classic one, but it wouldn't be as cool as going off and playing like Ashes of Creation or something. I'm definitely craving an entirely new MMO, you know what I mean? But Classic Plus, an official Classic Plus would be okay. The problem with Retail Classic is there's just too much corruption. There's too much gold selling, gold buying, boosting, GDKP, and that, to me, that just ruins the game. Absolutely ruins the game. That's why hardcore is so good, because you eliminate all of that with hardcore, because there's no trading. So there's no RMT. You can't trade real money. You can't trade gold with other players. So you basically eliminate GDKP. You eliminate, boosting and all that, because you can't give people gold. So that's why I actually like hardcore so much. That's one of the biggest reasons why. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I played Season Mastery too, and it was kind of crap, to be honest. There's all these people that are like, when is Season Mastery 2 gonna come out? And I'm like, what's the big deal? Who cares? I mean, honestly, who cares if Season Mastery 2 comes out? Who cares? It's gonna be the same shit as Season Mastery 1. Just a bunch of fucking, RMT, GDKP, boosting. Just gonna be the same bullshit, So I'm not excited for any kind of Season Mastery. Like, again, if they did a Classic Plus, it would be interesting, and I would certainly play it. But again, I don't see it as being something that would be that good. I'm hoping, Ashes of Creation has said that they don't want to do that kind of shit. They don't want to promote. I mean, we don't know. We'll see. You can't tell me. I'm a software developer, right? I write code for a living, right? You can't tell me that you can't put out an MMO and prevent gold selling. I mean, there's just no freaking way. I mean, it's not even difficult to, you know what I mean?
Lovely.
It's like, just don't allow people to send gold through the mailbox. I mean, there's like this mob's all bugged out. I mean, if you have to, just don't allow people to trade gold. Period. You can trade gear. Like, you might be able to buy a really nice item and give it to somebody. Maybe I don't know, but there's definitely ways you could prevent it. These companies don't. I mean, like Blizzard doesn't want to completely prevent bots on their servers because those bots have to pay for World of Warcraft accounts. So they're making money. All those bots on their servers are paying them money. So that's why Blizzard's such a corrupt piece of shit, Yeah, they add up. There's tons of them, and they add up big time. Plus, Blizzard thinks, whether it's true or not, I tend to think it's not really that true, that if there's people can buy gold, that they'll make them want to play the game longer. I don't really agree with that at all. I think that to make people actually play the game the way it was intended to be played, that people will be more interested in it. It's always going to be more fun if it's more challenging. You're always going to be more attached to your character if you actually had to put out more effort into the character than if you just logged in, swiped your credit card, and bought a bunch of gear, or paid somebody to run you through raids. It just isn't the same. Yeah, I mean, I actually have a story that I've told many, many times, and on Doomhammer, I was the first character on Doomhammer to craft Black Dragon Scale boots, right? So the first Black Dragon Scale boots that were crafted on Doomhammer were by my hunter, right? And I just jokingly put the boots in the auction house, and I put them in there at a ridiculously absorbent gold price, a price that I knew nobody would pay because it was way too much gold. So just to give you guys an idea of what kind of gold is way too much, like beyond the realm of nobody would ever want to spend that much gold on something. Like I didn't want to give away the Black Dragon Scale boots. Why would I give away Black Dragon Scale boots? I was the only person who even had a pair on the entire server, right? I was the first person to craft them. Actually, I didn't craft them. My friend crafted them, but I was the first person to get them. I got the mats. He actually knew the recipe, so I went out and farmed all the mats. And between me and him, we crafted them, but they were crafted for my character, my hunter. So I was the first person to get them made, or crafted basically. And I put them in the auction house at a price that I knew nobody was willing to pay because it was like an insane amount of money. So you guys will never be able to guess how much money that was. It'll blow your mind. So this would have been probably sometime around 2000. I'm gonna guess it was probably around 2000, late 2005 maybe. I don't know. It just depends. Whenever they released the Brotherhood, the Dark Brotherhood, or whatever it was called, I can't remember. Was the Dark Brotherhood? Whatever the reputation's called, right? Where you go and you get the scales and you go to the vendor inside BRD and you buy recipes and stuff from them, right? Yeah. No. See, not even that. See, Michael? See, Michael? I told you you'd be shocked. I put the Black Dragon Scale boots up on Doomhammer. This was like 2005, 2006, sometime in there. I can't remember exactly when. at a price that I knew nobody was willing to pay because nobody had the money. Like, I knew nobody could afford it. 400 gold. No, Luke, yeah, no, 400 gold. 400 gold. Nobody on Doomhammer, when I was playing back in 2005, was running around with 400 gold. Because if you ever have played back in the original game when it came out, shit was expensive. And plus, people didn't really... Yeah, 400 gold, that was it. And nobody bought them, right? Like now, you play on a classic server, people have 400 gold in a week. Now, a lot of it has to do with people understand how to make money. They know where to go to farm certain things. They know the economy. They know certain things that sell really well. You know, whether it's, you know, whatever it may be, certain types of herbs, whatever. People understand the economy. Now, back then, nobody understood, like, nobody knew what was worth anything, you know? So people didn't farm the right things. So yeah, 400 gold, and nobody bought the boots. I had lots of people message me wanting to trade me gear, wanting to give me 200 gold plus gear. Like, I'll give you 200 gold plus a bunch of ore, a bunch of, you know, leather, devil's sword leather, or whatever. Or I'll give you the crawl blade plus 100 gold. You know, stuff like that. But that was just to give you guys an example. That just gives you guys an idea of how, you know, there wasn't a lot of gold in the economy, you know. This mob is really crushing my pet. Let's... So, yeah, so that was what it was like, you know, economy-wise. Like, people didn't run around, they didn't have any gold. And the reason that those boots were really good is because actually the Black Dragon Scale boots were probably the best Black Dragon Scale item. I mean, there was the leggings, the boots, the shoulders. But the boots, they were really good for Molten Core, for, like, entry-level characters trying to get into Molten Core, so... Especially back in the original game. Like, in the original game when there wasn't a lot of stuff. I mean, the Black Dragon Scale boots had 24 fire resistance. That was really the big thing. The big thing with Black Dragon Scale boots was the fire resistance. You know, it was great for Molten Core. The 24 fire resistance, 10 stamina, and then 28 attack power. And of course, if you had the boots, the breastplate, the legs, the shoulders, you know, you have set bonus. You have, like, boost your chance to hit, critical strike by 2%, and then another 10 fire resistance if you have all 4. And plus, they looked really cool. I mean, the set looked cool. So... But, yeah, I mean, it just was, you know, the game was fun in vanilla because people weren't swiping their credit card and buying gold. You know, things meant something. Like, to get like, the Crawl Blade, or to get the Dalrend weapons, or to craft something like Black Dragon Scale boots, it meant something. You know, it was like, wow, this guy, and when I walked around with Black Dragon Scale boots, people, like, took notice. Because nobody had them. They're like, holy shit, this hunter's got Black Dragon Scale boots. Because you have to get, when the faction came out, you had to grind the reputation to get high enough, and you had to go into BRD and buy the recipes, and you had to get the items and craft them, and, you know, I had to get, like, the skinning knife off of the beast in UBRS, just to increase my skinning skill so that I could skin the dragon that Rend rides. So I would do UBRS over and over again to kill Rend, and kill the dragon that Rend would ride, so I could skin the dragon and get all of, like, the scales from him, you know what I mean? And there's all those things that you did, like even just going on the quest to get the UBRS key, so you could just get groups and go into UBRS, you know. And it was just a different age, you know. People weren't cheating, people weren't buying gold. People weren't getting boosted to 60. Everybody who was 60 leveled their character the old-fashioned way. they did quests and they went out and leveled their character. And people typically only played 1 or 2 characters. You know, people had like 1 or 2 60s, you know, and they played those. They were attached to those characters. When Burning Crusade came out in 2000, I think it was 2007, I had almost 4 60s. I had a hunter, a warrior, I had a hunter that was 60, a priest that was 60, a warrior that was 60, and a rogue that was like, I don't know, 40 or 50 or something. You know? And another warrior that was like 40 or something. So I was, you know, most people didn't have that many 60s. Most people going to Burning Crusade had like maybe 2 60s, or maybe they just had 1, because they were so attached to that one character, they just played that one all the time. But it was just so much, you know, so talking about, like, the reason this conversation started is you talked about you wish Blizzard, you were looking forward to Blizzard maybe putting out a Classic Plus. We're never going to have a version of WoW come out that's going to be as good as WoW was in 2004, just because of the way people play the game. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that it was a different time, you know? People weren't trying to min-max, people weren't trying to cheat. I mean, to me, buying gold is just straight up cheating, so... But how many people buy gold? Probably 50% of the player base in Classic buys gold. I mean, or at least... It's a high percentage. I mean, it's a very high percentage. So, and I just, you know, ruins the game in my opinion.
Well met.
6 stamina, 1 agility. I lose 4 agility. I gain 6 stamina. I don't know. I'd rather have the agility, to be honest.
Be careful.
Oh, dude, they got banned for buying gold. I don't know anybody who's gotten banned for buying gold. Blizzard doesn't do it. I'm surprised anybody gets banned, to be honest. It's
Light bless you.
Blizzard doesn't seem to care. You know? Yeah.
Can I help you? See you around.
So yeah, am I looking forward to Classic Plus? Not really, or like a, you know, what I'm looking forward to is Ashes of Creation. I mean, I think that game could be really good. I'm looking for a lot of the cool systems they're putting into Ashes of Creation, but I mean, I'm hoping that it doesn't turn into another, you know, RMT. We have to stop RMT. You know, RMT is the worst thing for video games. Yeah, I know. I've known people who are just insanely rich from knowing how to play the economy. I mean, some people enjoy doing that, just playing the economy. I mean, it's not hard to make money if you know what to do. RMT is real money transfer. Real money transfer meaning people are, yeah, real money transaction. They're buying gold with real world money. Like, what do you, like GDKP, like GDKP runs, what do you think, man? You think those people all have that gold legitimately? Most people that are buying loot on GDKP runs are buying gold from gold sellers. You know? And it infuses the economy, and it completely screws up it basically screws up the auction house. It screws up the economy such that someone who doesn't buy gold is screwed, because it drives the price up. If someone is buying, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of gold from gold sellers, which, you know, tons of people are, right? Then the price of items in the auction house skyrockets because people can afford to buy it. And then the people that don't buy gold are screwed because they can't afford to buy stuff because it's too expensive. You know, a perfect example of that was when when Classic was out for a long time, Skullflame Shield started out maybe at like 200 or 300 gold. By the end of Classic and before Burning Crusade came out, Skullflame Shield was probably going for around 1,000 gold, maybe even more. Just because so much more, because the economy, there's so much gold in the economy. It wasn't because people were making gold the old-fashioned way. It was because everybody was buying gold. And then when you looked at like Season of Mastery, Skullflame Shield was I think when it first came out, I think I saw it selling for like maybe 100 gold. And then even just after a couple months of Season of Mastery, then I saw the price of Skullflame Shield up around 500 gold. I mean, it shouldn't have gone up that fast. The reason it's going up that fast is because people are buying gold. Yeah. 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 I mean, and then, but the other thing too, here's the other thing, Michael, is that it makes you, like, it used to be that you would spend hours grinding out a farm session. Like maybe you were farming herbs, maybe you were in Dire Maul, farming those 1 mobs for herbs. Maybe you're doing tribute runs, maybe you were, whatever, killing, farming Devil Sword Load, whatever you were doing to make money. You might log into the game and spend 4, 5, 6 hours just mining ore and trying to sell ore on the auction house. And all those things felt rewarding because you're like, oh, I spent a bunch of time, but I got a bunch of money out of it. Well, now none of that feels rewarding anymore because you're like, I spent 8 hours making, maybe 200 gold, and this other guy next to me, just swiped his credit card and got 5,000 gold. All right, 5,000 gold in 1 minute, and it took me 4 hours to make 200 gold. Or maybe it took me 2 hours to make 200 gold, whatever. It only took him a minute to make 5,000 gold. So, no, my accomplishments, Michael, as far as like grinding for money, started to become devalued. I started to feel like, why do I bother? Why bother? Like, it wasn't that I didn't feel good about what I did. I was like, oh, that, I felt, yeah, I accomplished something. But my point is, I got to the point where I just figured, why bother? Why am I even doing this? Like, why am I doing this? Here I go up to my friend who's playing, and he's got like Flurry Axe and Skullflame Shield and all this amazing gear. And how did he afford it? He just bought gold from a gold seller, and went to the auction house and just bought the stuff. And here I'm spending hours and hours and hours trying to farm gold so that I can do the same thing and buy certain items that I want for my setup. But it just, it devalues your effort. You're like, your effort doesn't feel worth it anymore. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I pretty much lost interest in almost all versions of retail WoW. I pretty much just almost lost. The only reason I play now is like I said, hardcore is fun because you can't, there's no RMT. You can't trade with people. You can't use the auction house. You can't trade. It'd be cool. It'd actually be cool if they came up with I think it'd be cool to do a hardcore mode where you could use the auction house. I think it'd be cool to maybe hardcore light or something, just where people could use the auction house. But you couldn't trade though. You couldn't trade with other players though, and you couldn't group with them. But you could use the auction house. So you'd give you a way to make money. But I mean, honestly, honestly, you don't even need it because that kind of devalues the whole point of hardcore. Hardcore is supposed to be kind of painful and challenging and difficult. If you start making it easy, then it's, what's the point?
Greetings for the Alliance.
Yeah. Region lock the servers. Yeah, well, there's, like I said, there's a lot of ways I think you could easily stop it. But the fact of the matter is, Blizzard doesn't want to stop it. Because they're making a ton of money off of that. I love how they ban accounts and advertise, hey, we banned 2,000 accounts today, as if they did something good. Banning accounts for Blizzard is just a quick way for them to make some money. Because let's say they go out and ban 2,000 gold sellers or bot accounts. Guess what happens? All the people that own those bot accounts just go out and buy another WoW subscription, and they just start all over again. So that, so they don't. They didn't really stop the botters. They temporarily stopped them, but they also infused more money into the game because those people had to come back and buy the game again, right? Or get another subscription. And if it was like Burning Crusade, guess what? Then they buy the Dark Portal Pass. So now Blizzard's really making a ton of money. I don't think the Dark Portal Pass was even put in the game for players. I think the Dark Portal Pass was put in the game for gold sellers. Because they can buy the game, buy the Dark Portal Pass, get their character up to high enough level, and then turn the bot on. Drop their character in, you know, high level zones because they use the Dark Portal Pass and turn their bot on, and boom, the bot starts making money.
Good day to you. See you later. Hey there. See you around. Looking for something specific?
Dab. How much? What is this? This is like what? 10 damage. This is what? 16? It's slow though.
Safe travel. Need help? Go with honor.
Wow, yeah, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. Well, grinding is something that I actually really enjoy myself personally, because I came up playing the first MMO I ever played really was Lineage 2, which is a very, very grindy game, like extremely grindy, like the fastest person to reach max level, and Lineage 2 was 6 months. Yeah, of course. I mean, there's a lot of good reasons why grinding is fun. But I mean, I'd probably go into a big long spiel and explain to you all the reasons why I think we could implement a game that has a lot of grinding that would be really fun. But honestly, I'm just really tired. I don't know if I want to go that far down the path. But I will say that, you know, I think that, you know, slowing down the leveling process like drastically, making it a lot more difficult to level up in an MMO is a good thing, right? I mean, personally, for me, the shortest time it should take to level from 1 to a max level in any MMO should be like 3 months, like minimum. Like minimum. I don't want to see anybody starting a brand new MMO getting to max level in less than 3 months. And my preference would be that it would be longer than that. That it would be more like along the lines of 6 months to even a year. Because if you make it really long, then people start focusing on other things, you know, like start focusing on other systems, because you don't want to just sit there and grind 24/7 for 6 months straight, because it'll, you know, it'll drive you insane, right? So if you make the leveling really, really slow, let people start focusing on maybe some other stuff, like some crafting, some housing, shipbuilding, or whatever other cool systems that you have in your game, you know? You were playing yeah, Dragonflight was boring. I just found it really to be really boring. And the leveling is the same shit that they've done in all the expansions. It's just really boring. It's just a typical quest. Go here, do this, do that. There's nothing unique about the quest. There's nothing really fun that great. I mean, they're not horrible quests as far as like, but you know, we've been there, done that. You know, we need to innovate more. I need some brutes. Yeah, I mean, Blizzard, a lot of people that created World of Warcraft were fans of EverQuest. And what they wanted to do with World of Warcraft is make an MMO that was a little more friendly to casuals, a little bit, not quite so hardcore, you know, a lot more easy to play, like easy to level. And they wanted to get a bigger audience, and, you know, they succeeded, of course. They succeeded big time. Yeah, I know, it's... And that's one of the reasons why I was kind of excited for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, just because they were basically going for a much more, like, grindy, slow leveling process, but I don't know if that game's ever going to come out. And I don't really know Ashes of Creations. I don't really know what their philosophy is on leveling speed, but when they come out with Alpha 2, I'm pretty sure I'm going to pay the $350 or however much it is to get into Alpha 2. And since it's not under NDA, and I'll stream it all, and we'll see how long it takes to level.
Lovely.
Yeah. You enjoy playing the Old Republic? Yeah, I mean, I think, well, we'll see. Again, I just really feel like a lot of it comes down to... I mean, like, if you look at Black Desert is also another interesting game. When Black Desert first came out, I mean, it was... I don't want to say it was grindy, but there was a little bit of a grind to Black Desert. I mean, actually, it really is grindy, because there is no max level in Black Desert. So once you get to that, past the soft cap of, like, 55, then yeah, leveling, you know, from 55 to 56 is incredibly slow. So it is very grindy at that point. But when Black Desert first came out, just leveling like even just 1 to 50 was, you know, you're talking weeks. you know, a couple weeks at least of playing 8 hours a day. And now you can log into Black Desert and create a character and be, you know, level 55 in like, you know, 4 hours or something. Something ridiculous. So. Which is really sad, in my opinion. Same thing with Terra. Like, leveling in Terra was... It wasn't, like, slow. But, I mean, you know, leveling to max level in Terra, you know, you're talking another, you know, couple weeks or whatever. And, of course, that all got easier and easier. It's weird how MMOs... I really hate this, and I think most MMO companies would disagree with me on this, but I hate how when an MMO comes out, like, it takes a while for characters to level to max level, and then the longer the MMO is out, the more and more they nerf it. And I'm very much against that. I'm like, I don't like that. And I understand why they do it, because they figure, well, we've got an MMO that's been out for like a year, so all these people have leveled to 60, or whatever the max level is. Well, then they want their friend to come and play the game with them. Well, if their friend comes in, you don't want him to have to take the same amount of time to level the max level that, you know, that the other guy did, because, you know, they want him to level quickly so he can play with his friend at the level he's at. There's several ways to solve that. One of my favorite ways to solve that is the sidekick system, or the buddy system, whatever you want to call it, where basically what it is you don't change the leveling speed. What you do is you allow a player to sidekick another player, kind of like how City of Heroes did it, right? So basically, in essence, you either go down to the level of that player, or that player can kind of sidekick with you, and then that brings them up to your level. So you do stuff together at a certain level. Usually it's I think the lower level. So if I'm level 20 and my friend's level 60, he can come over and sidekick. I can be his sidekick, and that brings him down to like level 20, and then we both do level 20 quests together. So that way,
Lovely.
you get a chance to play with your friend and progress, you know, without you leveling super fast to max level. You know, you still have to get to max level the same way your friend did. You know, the old-fashioned way. You just do the content. You know, the other way to do it is just, you know, give the rewards, like the refer a friend rewards or something like that, where someone plays the game, gets to 60, and then their friend says, I want to play the game. And you just basically do like a refer a friend or something, and then they give them like a, you know, really big, like 200% XP bonus or something. That when they're grouping with their friend, like when they're playing with their friend, they, you know, they get like some sort of a XP. Well, I guess not when they're playing with their friend, but they just get like an XP bonus for a certain amount of time. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I mean, I do think they have thought about some of these things, but I think they just don't care. I mean, honestly, that's the way I feel about it. It's like they don't even care.
Lovely.
Stole my mob, asshole. I was actually going to kill that mob, and he just came flying up and grabbed him. Not nice. Yeah, all they care about is money. It's the bottom dollar. But Steven Street from Ashes of Creation again, and I've turned into an Ashes of Creation fanboy, which is kind of funny because I certainly never thought I was going to be an Ashes of Creation fanboy. But I mean, you know, they you know, Steven's an MMO player, and he wants to make an MMO that's like his dream MMO, and that's really good and fun for other players, and so we'll see. You know, we'll see if I think that they will focus on making the game fun, because that's the whole point of Ashes of Creation. They don't want to. He's already said they're not going to have monetizations that are going to, you know, like pay to win, anything like that. I'm hoping they're going to stamp out, you know, gold selling or any of that kind of bullshit, and then hopefully, you know, they'll make drastic changes in ways that to try to fix the game if there are issues that come up that prevent the game from being played in the way that we would want it to be played, you know. That we'll just wait and see. So I do think that's one of the few MMOs that's coming that people like me who don't like real money transactions, who don't like you know, RMT and GDKP and all that crap. You know, it's one of those games that's coming that actually, you know, hopefully, you know, it gives us hope. You know, we hope that that game will be good. So, yeah, the parasitic systems are stupid. I mean, that's just, I mean, I hated, people liked Legion. I hated Legion. I thought the zones were crap. I thought the artifact weapon shit was crap. I didn't like any of it. I thought it was stupid. I'm actually very different. I'm very much against Magic. And I don't want to say I'm against Magic. I shouldn't say it like that. I'm not against Magic. I think Magic should be in a fantasy MMO, right? But I'm more along the lines of like Lord of the Rings, you know, where Magic's going to be very rare. You're not going to see like a lot of people running around with like very powerful Magic items. It should be incredibly rare, and that makes it so that when you do get a magical item, you really, it's a really exciting moment. You're like, wow, I got this magical sword, you know, and people should be jealous of you and envious of you and be like, wow, he's got this magical, you know, sword, you know. And so I really wish that somebody would come out with an MMO that's more along those lines of like, you know, not just making gear like just automatic, like, oh, you're just gonna get green magical gear all the time, you know. Thanks, Orc. But I mean, these mobs are pretty low level. Like, although I was killing some level 25s and 26 crocodiles in wetlands earlier. But it took me quite a bit longer to kill those mobs. And then we can turn the my pets Growl off and see if we can get some threat here. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Oof. Yeah, I think in the beginning, I'm sure that Blizzard was not as corrupt by, you know, as corrupt by Activision as they are now. So now they're just screwed. They're just a terrible company at this point. Just all about the bottom dollar, the money, you know, all about money.
Lovely. Lovely.
They use auto kick scripts in Arena? How? Okay, what is the script for? What's it do? Why are they kicking people? Are you talking about scripts that automatically interrupt, like rogue kick interrupt? Oh, with 10 DK bots versus 10 DK. Yeah, the whole Wrath of Lich King was kind of stupid. You know, DKs are so ridiculously strong, you know.
Lovely.
Oh, yeah, so that's what I thought you meant. They were automated. Yeah, that's just obviously wrong, so. Yeah, I mean, I'm against cheating. I'm against that kind of stuff. I mean, another way to prevent that kind of stuff is to prevent scripting. It's to just prevent scripting, but scripting is such a useful tool in MMOs. But if you did prevent scripting and not allow people to do any macros or any scripts, then that will get rid of a lot of those issues.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that, plus I think Deadly Boss mods, I think also was bullshit, you know, I think that shit should have been pretty much, I don't think,
Lovely.
yeah, I mean, I'm definitely against, add-ons. I think an MMO should be created in such a way that, you know, you have everything you need to play the game. There shouldn't really be shouldn't really have a need for add-ons. And I think add-ons should be banned. I don't think add-ons should be like, you know, there's lots of MMOs out there where you don't have to go and install add-ons, you know. But like people say, well, add-ons make the game more fun. Well, if the game is developed in a way that it's fun, you don't need add-ons. I mean, if you look at Retail WoW when they came out with Dragonflight and they redesigned the UI and they finally started adding some features into the game that should have been added a long time ago. I mean, those features nullify the need for certain add-ons. So I mean, my point is, if you develop the game with a good UI that's customizable, you know, and tracks like cooldowns of abilities, stuff like that, you don't need add-ons. You don't need add-ons. Most add-ons aren't necessary. You know, they're just not. There's a few that I use that I would hate to not have, you know, because they're just very helpful. But if I really enjoyed the game and I couldn't use them, I'd still play the game.
Can I help you? Farewell.
Greetings. Have a good one.
But anyways, I'm really tired, so I'm probably gonna take a break. But I do think, you know, looking down the road, you know, but I do think looking down the road, like all the action I was messing with, they did to a certain degree. You know, people were like actually putting stuff in the auction house people were using these add-ons to basically create auctions at certain prices to actually, you know, to screw up the actual add-on. You know, they'd try to full add-on so that when people try to search for the lowest price, they would actually list stuff in a way that they fooled the add-on. It's just kind of funny how they try to combat the add-ons, you know. Yeah, so I don't think any World of Warcraft retail game is going to come out that's going to be any good just because of RMT, because of all that crap. But if you know, if you look down the road, the MMOs that are coming down the pipe that look interesting, I mean, obviously Asher Grayson looks really, really good. And I think one of the reasons Asher Grayson looks so good is, you know, Unreal Engine 5 has really made, you know, taking the graphics up to a completely other level. Not only that, but the game actually performs better with the better graphics than what it had before in Unreal Engine 4. It actually runs a hell of a lot better. Also, it's my colors. The colors just don't look right to me right now. They look really washed out, and I'm using, which means without my, how washed out this looks. Like, I would hate to play WoW with the default colors and stuff. It's just, you know, maybe, hold on a second. No. But, you know, like I said, Steven Shreve wanting to make a game that he finds really good, you know, someone who, you know, making a game without having some company over his head. I mean, they're making the game on their own, and so I think that's a really good thing. I think that puts him in a situation where they can just focus on making a game that he wants to make that's fun and challenging, and and hopefully they'll be really good at preventing like bots and preventing gold selling. I don't really know yet, but we can only hope. But there's a few other MMOs that are coming that look, kind of interesting. I mean, obviously the Riot MMO could be interesting. We have no idea what that's going to be like. And, Throne of Liberty's coming out here in probably the next 2 or 3 months. I think Throne of Liberty is just going to be like, I don't know. I don't really know what it's going to be like. I don't think it'll be that good, but it may be. It could be really good. But I don't know. It's really hard to say. But anyways, guys, I am going to take a break because I'm really, really tired. You can probably tell in my voice I'm exhausted. And I will catch you guys later. I want to get the 100 to 24 because we can actually get the next rank of abilities for my pet, the armor and the stamina. And also, I think 24. I'm not sure what kind of abilities we can. I think we're still quite a ways away from upgrading Bite and Cower and all that stuff. But I will catch you guys later. I may come back and stream again tonight, but probably not. I'm pretty tired. And but I'll catch you guys later, man. Peace out, everybody. Hope you guys have a good one. Until next time.